Oh my god, hi! You look so good today, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, today we are doing a get ready with me. So today I'm gonna be doing this 80s inspired makeup look. I've just been weirdly nostalgic for 80s things lately, you know, like when you're in a lake, lately. And I wanted to do something fun and just silly and do something really bright and colorful. So while we do that, I'm actually gonna be talking about my first month on YouTube and kind of the struggles and the things that I like and all of that. So if you're interested in finding out about any of that or you wanna see how I did this, stay tuned. That's gonna happen and you can do, it's gonna, once again, my neighbors are kind of screaming and just doing whatever, so if you hear someone talking very loudly and occasionally yelling, that's whatever's happening upstairs. I have no control over that. These brows are kind of hurting me, but I did look up some references, and I think 80s brows tend to be really, like, bushy, you know? So that's what we're going with, and I hope it works. We'll find out. We'll just move it from there. So I think today we're gonna do concealer for... We're gonna start with concealer and then do foundation because I'm that kind of girl today. And I'm also gonna go pretty hard because I want that good, like, 80s... I don't know what my neighbors upstairs are doing, but it gets quiet and then every 30 seconds it's like one laugh yells at one and then the other laugh yells at back. It's very strange. So, if you are one of 12 people subscribed to this channel, you may or may not be wondering, where is the Drag Race review for this week? And the truth of the matter is, I think I am not going to continue with those right now for a couple reasons. One, because, you know, I don't feel like I really have anything interesting to add to the discussion of Drag Race. I love Drag Race very, very much, but I mean, I'm not interviewing drag queens. I'm not really doing anything that exciting, so it's like, what exactly is it that I have to add, you know, beyond just me recapping what happened in the episode and giving my thoughts? So I think that from now on Sundays, I'm just gonna do a kind of chit-chatty get ready with me with whatever I'm feeling like in that moment. And on occasion, we can talk about Drag Race or shows or whatever I feel like, and that way I don't feel restricted. I got to a point when I was doing those Drag Race videos, I mean, that was like the second video I ever posted was the first one of those, and though I really did enjoy making those videos, I mean, I'll be honest, it's just me talking while looking at my phone and recapping, so then this person says this, and I think this, and it's just, you can just watch the episode. And not only that, I'm not a drag queen who you would want to watch recap the episode who was on the show. I'm not even a drag queen. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Is that a song? Speaking of like YouTube traditions or whatever, I figured now would be a great time to kind of look back on my first ever month on YouTube. So this video will be going up, I think, like right at the end of the month. I think if my count is correct, I've maybe made between like 9 and like 11 videos. And this month has been a lot. Like, there's been a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of changing, and I thought it would be kind of fun to just kind of sit down with y'all, do my makeup in an 80s fashion, and discuss what I think, what I've learned. Miss Girl, you have to blend to the hairline, Miss Girl. How I feel about the content I've been making, what's been my favorite, what's been my least favorite, challenges, etc. So if you're down for that, like you're kind of just down in here for it. I did my makeup using only lipstick, and I used this lipstick, Milani lipstick in Orchid, I guess, on my cheeks. And I just felt, I kind of cut it out, but I was like, this is 80s inspired now, I guess, because this, for whatever reason, gives me such 80s vibes. So I figure, like, I mean, it smells nice, that's nice. I figured we could just use this again. Like, I'm not above going really hard in 80s and just, you know, doing ridiculous things. Like, you're not You're not gonna tell me I can't. And I can even use the same beauty blender as I used in that video, because I only filmed that a day or two ago and really didn't have a chance to wash it. Let's talk like struggles. My first definite biggest struggle that I overcame while doing my makeup, that sounds so like, I struggled so hard. No, the first thing that I really struggled with on YouTube was just getting the setup right. No one really ever talks about the fact that it is such a struggle just figuring out everything. And I started out, for the Christmas this year, I got a ring light, and I never thought to ask for a ring light, despite the fact that I was actively like, I need a ring light to film, because my mom, I guess like my mom's really weird in that she knows what you need, and I guess psychically we just like connected, you know? So I got my ring light. So the lighting itself has never been like a major issue. The biggest problem was just figuring out sound and like the video situation. Am I in camera? I think so. ASMR, you're a camera stand, and I'm like, are you? So I guess I just really wanted to have my quality be like as good as possible, even getting started. And let me tell you, Ms. Girl, it was not. It was horrendous. The first few videos I posted, I looked like a literal corpse. So, fun story, recently my mom also started watching my YouTube channel because she really wants to see the kind of content that I'm making. And so I showed her, and she liked the most recent video. She had some pointers, we talked about it. It was really fun and good to kind of like get her advice there. That looks nice, it's very 80s, I'm into that. And she saw my first ever video I posted. I think it was called things that we're leaving in 2020. And she literally saw that and went, why do you look green? And I was like, I think it's the camera. And she's like, delete it. I was like, no, ma'am. No, I'm leaving every mistake I ever make makeup-wise on my channel because I want everyone to know. I want everyone to see, you know? I am not perfect. I'm a human being. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. Getting started, my biggest problem for sure was just trying to get the lighting situation handled. No one talks about how difficult a struggle that is when you first get started, just figuring out a good lighting situation. And I didn't want to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars right out the gate on spending money, or yeah, I didn't want to spend money on spending money. I didn't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a new camera. And for the first little while, I was just using my boyfriend's camera, and it's more of like, it's similar to a, what do you call that thing where you like strap it to yourself when you're like riding a bike or jumping off a cliff or whatever? A GoPro. It's like a GoPro, so it's kind of like fisheye, but it also washes me out. Like, it gives me no color. I guess because it's more so for like different situations where you don't need to show off color usage. So that was fun. That was like a bit of getting used to, but we got there eventually. I have an iPhone X, and now I just film on that, and I find so far it's given me like just the best options in terms of color payoff and whatnot, so it just works really well for me. Also, right now, this could be like how to look dead, but don't worry. So, I mean, that was a bit of a struggle, just getting all the equipment figured out. And now I don't even use a mic right now because the iPhone X does decent enough with audio that I don't feel like I really have to, which is nice, and I don't have to worry nearly as much about syncing, because what I would have to do before is literally go into my computer after the fact, and I'd have an audio file and a video file, and I would have to kind of sync them up. So it's been a bit of a struggle bus, like tech-wise, just getting started right out the gate, and I mean, that wasn't like really fun, but we got to where we are now, and I'm pretty satisfied, at least now. I figure like, as hopefully I gain more subscribers and, you know, just start doing more ambitious content, that is when I would kind of look into maybe a more professional camera and more professional setup. But for now, this just serves me pretty well. Now I'm gonna do some blue kind of definition with the Roxysaurus palette. There's like a blue in here called Blue Lagoon. And I think that will really help things. We're gonna do kind of like a, yeah. Ironically though, the struggle for getting together the equipment and all of that was like the least stressful part. Like, it really did not take that much to really figure out. What I found ironic was that something no one ever talks about when they're starting a YouTube channel is just how to be natural on camera. And ironically, I've always been very good at, you know, talking to people. I've always been a very personable person. So I kind of just assumed like, okay, I'll just turn on the camera and we'll be good. Like, it'll be really fine. Like, I can just get out there and, whoa. Sis, that was not the case. Like, not even in the slightest. And I also really need to blend that, because she's a lot. I mean, this whole look is a lot, if we're just being very honest. Yeah, I don't know, like, no one ever really tells you that the camera goes on and you just have to get to a point where you're very comfortable just staring at a camera lens and talking to it, because, like, I never knew that. I don't assume most people would. Not only that, but it takes a while to get to the skill point where I can just like apply makeup and talk. The very first video I made, thankfully, never got published. It actually kind of just fell into the ether. My boyfriend's camera that I was using at the time just kind of decided it didn't want to film it, which honestly was doing me a favor, because it just went, no, and then just like deleted it. As I went to go upload it, it just never had existed. It said like, Ms. Girl, this is not the one for you. And I am incredibly thankful for that, because it wasn't good. I had spent the whole time just kind of standing there being like, and like, and like, as I was applying makeup, it just wasn't working for me. So it took me a while to really get to the point. Like, I still kind of struggle sometimes as I'm applying makeup, just trying to like say something to the camera, but it's like much better than it was, you know? So I'm not too worried about the inner corner, because I actually have a plan for that. But before I get to that, I'm actually going to deepen out the outer corner with some purple, I think, or like a purple blue, just to... I'm just gonna like deepen up the outer corners to get some depth and definition. I feel much more comfortable now talking to the camera, but even then, it's something that really did take me time. And you can kind of see if you watch my videos from the beginning, which, you know, kudos to you if you put up with that. There was definitely a point where I just was not confident and wasn't really like doing my best. So that was definitely a struggle. But ironically, the biggest struggle that I had within this first month was just kind of finding my authentic voice. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. I was having a really big struggle bus of a problem just speaking like myself, and I don't know why that is. Again, I never assumed like I'm not good at speaking on camera. Then one day, because a few of my friends watch my content, one of them said, you know, you do your customer service voice on YouTube. And I was like, what? I went back and watched it, and I was like, damn, you're right. And so now I can't look at my old videos and not help but think like, hi, how are you doing? Can I get you anything? Do you want that large or small? Okay, thank you. Like, it's very that. And the weird thing is, that was never an intention. I actually set out like, one of my primary goals when starting this channel, I really wanted to come off as authentic as possible. Now, I mean, I'll be honest, authentic means very little in 2021, but I just mean like I wanted to represent myself as much as possible. And so it was definitely a bit of a struggle just getting to a point where I would turn on the camera and just sound like myself. Now comes the most fun part, which is right here on this inner corner. I'm gonna go in with like very, very dark blue. And I think that that will just give us just enough of what I need. Yeah. So I'm gonna go in and cut my crease. I think that that might just add some 80s something. And I'm gonna use the the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. It's weird because you never really have to think like, how do I act my most authentic? You know, like that's not something you really ever intend to think about. So it was definitely a struggle for me, and not something I ever even really noticed until I was confronted with it. And even then I was like, no, like there's no way. Then I'm gonna go in with this Fetch, this pink color from the same like Makeup Revolution palette I've been using. I find for me the easiest way that I have accomplished kind of acting like myself has just been, I guess, every now and then stopping and just taking a second so I'm not really rushing through it. These eyes are actually almost done. I'm just gonna add a pop of yellow. Because for some reason in the 80s, they seemed to like 3 colors, blue, pink, and yellow. I could not tell you why. If anyone who's watched this was alive in the 80s, do tell me. I'm very curious. I guess going in initially on my channel, I just kind of tried really hard to always be having jokes and always be doing ridiculous things. But to be honest, I think that, you know, if I just, from the beginning, was focused on kind of just doing things the way that I do them, maybe I wouldn't have had that happen, and I would have just kind of been myself right from the beginning. But I'm kind of glad it did happen because it gave me the chance to address it and kind of, you know, learn, you know, because you can't really fail as long as you constantly try to better yourself, right? My favorite video has been my most recent one, the one where I did my makeup using only lipstick, because I just had a really good time with it, and I was just kind of doing something that felt fun to me. And I kind of only recently really nailed down what I want my channel to be, and that is, I want everything that I do to be like having fun with makeup. You know, we can do some how-tos about how you guys can incorporate weird, obnoxious colors, and you can have fun with makeup. We can do like how I have fun with makeup. You can watch me do stupid shit having fun with makeup. This is so obnoxious, and yet I love it. There's something about this that I'm just really weirdly into. I finally got to a point where I was like, oh, I like my editing. Like, I'm finding my own editing kind of funny, and I'm enjoying it, and I kind of know how to do more than just cutting footage and replacing it with other footage. So that's been nice. I'm gonna use the Angelic Glow palette from Rude Beauty or Cosmetics or something. It is sure something. And let's do, I already kind of have blue going, so why don't we do more blue? My least favorite video is either the one that I first posted, which is the 2020, like things were leaving in 2020. It was just very uninspired, and I just kind of threw it together to get something up on the channel. And if not that one, the other one that I thought was just not heinous, not terrible, but certainly not my favorite is the one I posted like literally a couple weeks ago, or like the week before this week, which was my makeup favorites. And it's not that that video is terrible, it's not that it's like awful or anything, it's just uninspired. It's me talking with literally no script, no idea what I'm saying. 20 plus minutes of me just being like, I like this powder because it's like really good. Like, it's not the best, but it's like good, you know? Also, can we talk about this? I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This is a blue highlighter, and it just kind of adds something really neat to this. And I'm kind of really feeling this. I'm gonna be using my favorite, Virgo, Jenna. It's Virgo by Lime Crime. Again, it's just very light, which is perfect for a look where your face is literally entirely covered in the color blue. I can't decide if this is serving 80s or if it's serving like early YouTube when no one had any idea about anything. And so they would do really ridiculous, like this is kind of giving me like 2007 YouTube, like, hey guys, it's the colorful guru, you know, just very that. Let's throw some Aliangelic by Pat McGrath on. It should hopefully just give it a little bit of color, just a little something. Okay. I could do kind of like an 80s side ponytail or something, or get fully dressed up in a look, but you know what, this is good enough for me. Either way, this is a fun look, and definitely not something I would do every day, but as I said earlier, this is the first official era of this channel, and hopefully the one that sticks, which is just, I want to have fun and do ridiculous things with makeup. So, that's where we're at, that's what we're doing. If you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me, please consider subscribing. I make new videos every single Friday, and sometimes Sundays, depending on if I want to do something or not. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!